Hi.
Hi, I'm Patty, and I'm
Kennedy?
so nervous I'm shaking.
All good, girl.
Okay.
You're surrounded by family.
Yes, I know. Wonderful family. This question is for both of you. Is there any odd routines or idiosyncrasies that you or any other cast members do or have before filming a scene?
Yeah, I can think of one. Tomo, who played Gabriel,
Tom Pennigan.
he does this thing where they're like, okay, you know, there's a certain sequence of events that happens before we actually say action. It's like, okay, lock it up. Okay, we're on a bell, so you hear the bell ring. That means the sound saying everybody be quiet, basically. And it's like, okay, lock it up and roll sound. And then the guy comes in with a marker, and he, 27 Apple, take one. That does the clapper. And Tomo, during that process, he's going like this.
And he's a big dude.
And cut to Jared and I, and we're like this.
Is he gonna hit us?
So I don't know what that is. I've never asked him because I've never built up the courage to. I'm afraid he'll whip out a hatchet.
There are many, because the boys are always joking around, cracking up in between takes. There was one time I was doing a very emotional scene, and one of them felt that he would help me by passing some gas in the scene, which definitely helped the tears come out more naturally. Yeah, it was very generous of him. That was pretty funny. Even considering I was trying to stay in get to a very deep and dark place. Yeah. Frick. Thank you.
But, so that's one.
Yeah, I think if I were to say that I have...
David does something too. Hayden Jones does. I forget what he does.
He gets the catch look. He goes into catch face a bit before it's action.
He also stays in his British accent when the cameras aren't rolling. Which, it actually, I think it helps all of us. But it certainly helps him because if he stays in it, then it's just easier and it becomes, he doesn't have to think about it as much when he's performing. So he just kind of stays in that accent. But he does do like some of those acting tricks to get you ready for the scene. Yeah, there's a few. Does Pellegrino do something?
God. He does a few things every now and again. He'll either, you can see him running it in his head a little bit, like he'll kind of do this. What's fun about working with Pellegrino is he'll discover some stuff sometimes in the blocking or in between takes even. Like there's the scene where he was, I guess, being levitated over the bowl by Rowena. And so he's sitting there, he's in this harness, and you kind of just, they're like, okay, we're gonna change the lenses from a 50 mil, which is a basic vision, to 100 mil, which is a close-up. And he's kind of stuck there, so you kind of saw him, reaching down to the bowl to try and figure out, to really get in touch with his surroundings, and then you see him incorporate it into the next take. It's kind of fun to watch.
I just thought it was something that you do.
What? Make jokes and trying to make everybody laugh?
No. You may not be aware, you're probably aware of this, but when you do it, you're not. If we're in the middle of a scene and it's his line, and it's happened to all of us, and he's just checked out, and then there's this odd silence, and then all of a sudden he realizes that it's his line, and it's his turn to speak, and there's now been this kind of odd pregnant pause. As if oh, there was something in my throat. He goes, and then he says his line. As if that made up for the, now I'll speak. And every time, if he forgets a line, you can guarantee there's gonna be a throat clear before he delivers his words.
There are certainly those moments. Because every now and again you're shooting a scene, it's like 6 pages long, so every take is 6 minutes, 7 minutes, and there are 5 people, and you're not, it's like Rowena is talking to Gabriel over there in the corner while you're sitting.
It's an exposition scene too, so there's not emotion, there's no
and you're
comedic timing needed.
And you're not part of the conversation that's happening in the script, like everybody's in the middle of his bunker, and there are 3 different people talking, and you're kind of off to the side. And you're like, okay, I know my cue line, but I can't really hear what they're saying anyways, so I'm just gonna... And then you'll just notice that there's a pause, and some of the crew guys are like looking at you, and you're like, it's Dean!
That's it. And I always know, because sometimes there'll be a pregnant pause, and he'll be doing something, be like taking a beat. Like, he's actually still in the scene, maybe it's, he's doing something with prop or whatever, and he's meaning to take that extra beat, and then he'll say his dialogue. But I know that if he clears his throat before he says those words, he forgot it was his turn to talk.
You stick your gum to the roof of your mouth, probably before. Yeah. Well, like, you chew gum, and then you can stick it to the roof of your mouth. You can kind of see it in the throat. Like, you do this, or inside of you're usually the roof of the mouth, aren't you? You aside? You can kind of see. You can see just a little bit.
By the way, for 13 seasons, just so you know, both Sam and Dean have had gum in their mouth. In every scene.
Probably.
Just to prove my English teacher wrong. Jensen, I can tell you're chewing gum. Oh, really?
Watch these 13 seasons.
Watch these 13 seasons, Mrs. Patterson. Karen, if that is your name.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for your question.
Thank you.
What's cool about that is you could definitely not see it at all.
Well, we're testing Jared's arm to see how good his arm is working now. First time throwing the football since the surgery, I think. Oh, he's looking pretty good. Long shot. Ooh, nice hands. Very nice hands. Yeah.
I'm Karina.
Hi, Karina.
So my question is, we know Supernatural is a fun set, and I was wondering if you could tell us about a funny...
It wasn't that great.
Yeah. Can you tell us about a funny moment on set?
You know I was on the show probably before you were born, right?
What?
I don't even remember that far back. It was like, I was in season 1, so how many years ago? Was that like 11 years ago? Okay, rub it in. I remember that I was doing 2 shows at once, and the boys joke about this shit all the time, but it's true. I never knew my lines because I was doing Grey's Anatomy and Supernatural, so I was flying back and forth, and I used to have Post-it notes all over chests and foreheads. So I would talk to Jensen, and I'd talk to Jared.
After you put Post-it notes on a guy, you gotta hug him.
Post-it notes.
It's a kind of a ritual.
You know what this means? This is, I think that I'm about ready to get yanked off this sucker.
I know. I don't like it
The boys
either.
are probably coming up.
It's our favorite part of doing these conventions is that when you're here, Misha's on stage, the boys, whatever, and we have to come on and play you guys off. The cacophony of boos that we're met with as we take the stage, we're like, damn it, there's no real way to win.
Do you come up to play me off?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, but here's the thing. We would have come up to play you.
Rude.
We were going to come up and play you on.
That's better.
But then Sam and you had a thing, and it was like, we didn't want to interrupt.
Oh.
See?
I see the predicament.
Yeah.
So if you play me off, what kind of things are we talking about?
It's pretty upbeat. I think you're gonna like the ditty.
I mean, I'd like something a little sad, actually.
All right, guys,
Something
but
we
you
can
do
all,
the
like,
sad version.
The sad
sad
version.
version of that upbeat song.
Set the sad version of the upbeat song. But before they kick into that, ladies and gentlemen, round of applause, Mr. Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
Thank you, guys. You guys are all awesome. Yay, San Francisco. Such a band.
There it goes. You know, you're just gonna wander around the stage. It's kind of a bit. We've been booed by crowds all across the United States.
I know, it's amazing.
But I've never had the actor actually give me the finger. I've never. That was the first time. Great way to tap off the year.
When I first came out, no one else came out, so I came out by myself, like a real jerk. And you just hear a rumble of boo. It was like a low. They didn't want to interrupt him, but they're like,
You guys should just bring signs, boo.